we just had one of the more eventful press conferences in recent memory. What did you make of that one, and how nervous were you?
Well, no, it was feisty, wasn't it? Look, the fighters were getting twitchy the past 24, 48 hours, so I knew it was going to be on sort of tenterhooks. But I think it went well. I think you saw that the fighters, there's a lot in this. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of pent-up frustration at each other. I think the trainers were great. Dominic was great, obviously. He had a lot to say. I think he's been unhappy with Brian McIntyre's comments throughout this. And no, it was really good. I think, look, perhaps it was both fighters were sort of trying to keep things to a minimum because they didn't want it to explode, but the tension is there. And we're going to see at the weigh-in tomorrow them come in at tremendous shape, so looking forward to it. Thought it was brilliant. A
lot calmer from Kell Brook in this circumstance in comparison to the preview on Behind the Gloves. What have you made of his outlook heading into this one? Because he has looked angry.
Yeah, he has. I think he's used it well in his camp because he's had a ferocious camp, a long camp, and that's what I think Dominic has been saying is he's never seen Kell like this, really focused, really focused, no distractions whatsoever, and he's managed to get down to the weight as well, and he's used it to his advantage. But I do think it will come down to who can keep their head. You know, there's a lot of emotions. The Manchester Arena is going to be sold out on Saturday. It's going to be an iconic event, and the whole nation's going to be watching. And with the rivalry and with the bitterness, who can keep their head, who can keep the game plan, I think will come out victorious. And I think Kell's used it well, but now probably as he approaches the fight, he knows he needs to stay calm here. You know, we can't see him losing his head. But same for Amir. We've seen Amir in previous fights go and get involved when he doesn't need to.
Fight, yeah.
And he doesn't need to do that sometimes. And so I think they're both going to have it in their heads is to not make mistakes and not get too involved. But we want to see them go hell for leather, and both trainers are promising that. So, yeah, we've got a very, very interesting fight.
It does seem inevitable that he's going to descend into chaos. You know, I just spoke to Amir's dad, and they both want to box the perfect game plan. But realistically, is that going to happen in a grudge match like this from either fighter?
I think, really, when you boil it down, both fighters do want the knockout and want to knock each other's heads out. But they also were so scared of losing. As much as they're both convinced they're going to win, I know there's a fear there of losing this because there's no return, and it's something they'll be remembered for a long time. So, look, I don't know. It could be cagey, it could be gun for all hell for leather. It's so hard to predict. But as you say, both fighters are looking forward to it. Both trainers are ready. They think they've got the game plan to win the fight, and both are going to be looking for a knockout. So, yeah, it's going to be explosive. I hope we see an amazing fight. I hope we see the fight that we always wanted. And I think we might, because both fighters, as I say, are in tremendous shape. They've been sparring 12 rounds, 14 rounds, 16 rounds, even Amir up in Colorado. And so, yeah, it's going to be a tough one to call.
Having Terence Crawford here, how much has that elevated the magnitude of fight week as well? Because he's been the third wheel in all of this, really, hasn't it? All stems from those two fights, with either side, with him.
Yeah, I mean, Terence has beaten them both. I think Amir just saw what Brian McIntyre does, and with Terence and everything, and felt like he needed that, and felt like he needed that discipline, felt like he needed someone that wasn't going to take any shit. And he's gone out there, and it is an interesting dynamic. I think Terence probably does have a lot of respect for both fighters, but obviously he's in Amir's camp, and they've been working really hard, and they think they've got a lot of knowledge from when they fought Kell, but have they looked at Kell's previous performances? Kell wasn't actually with Dominic for that fight, and he looked good until he got caught. So I don't know if they're reading too much into it. But it's great to have Terence here, obviously, pound for pound king. It adds something. I know Niaz wants to fly in tomorrow. Mike Tyson's even been on the phone. Like these guys have all fought at the Manchester Arena in huge, iconic events. This is a mad event. This is something that every fighter wants to be at, ex-current. Everyone has a lot of love for these two guys in British boxing. I've grown up watching them. Both of them have done amazing things. We've watched them lose, we've watched them win, we've been there with them, and there's so much investment in this fight from the boxing community and casual sports fans as well that it's going to be a special event.
And one of the things that was talked about at the press conference, which was really odd, it was the sweat drink from Domingo, right? When you saw that video, are you thinking, you've not done Kell any favours there? You've played right into Amir's verbal warfare heading into this one.
The reason why we love the sport of boxing is there's so many characters in it, and Dominic Ingle is one of those characters. Amazing trainer, fantastic. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I thought that was crazy, but as Dominic said, everyone's done crazy things. Amir's done crazy things. Kell's done crazy things. So I think it is what it is. We can't really take it much further than that, but it did give ammunition to the other side. Brian McIntyre says he was disgusted and things like that.
Yeah.
I think Dominic has been upset with Brian because he's been he's been talking a lot about Kell as though he knows what he's about, and talking about Dominic, and you could see Dominic was riled up today, but it just adds to it. I think, as I say, the camps are so invested in this fight. This runs deep for Team Brook. This runs deep for Dominic, who they always felt Kell was a better fighter, and they could never get Amir in the ring. And now they feel like Amir thinks, oh, I can get Kell now at this point in his career, and they're thinking, yeah, time's on, because they're underestimating where Kell's at and how ready he is, and they've been waiting for this moment for a long, long time.
Personally, for yourself, what's it been like in terms of how proud you are of what you built with Boxer? You're sat alongside those guys, young guy yourself. You're heading the ship, you're steering the ship with this one. How much pride does it fill you with?
Yeah, unbelievable, really, but not just for myself, my team as well. We started the business together. It's the same team that started in an office 200 yards from Manchester Arena in a shop front window with no money, with nothing, and we've gone from 4 years with a dream and a vision. We worked extremely hard to get to this point, and now it's coming to fruition, and it's amazing to be here. I think, if anything, to do our first box office event in Manchester, where I'm from. As I say, I lived around the corner from the arena for a long time, near just up from the arena near Cheetham Hill. Yeah. And that's where I had my apartment when I was growing this business. So yeah, to be back at the iconic venue that I used to go to with two heroes, really, Amir Khans and Kell Brook. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable for my team, and I think Sky are really excited as well.
And finally, just away from this fight, obviously you've been involved with the Whyte Fury talks. Can you just talk about your involvement with that? And obviously Fury's issuing the countdown calls to Whyte now. Where is that situation at?
No involvement other than that. Dillian's always fought on Sky. I'm the Sky promoter now. I have a great relationship with Dillian's team. They're an independent party. They always have been. They fight by fight. They do what's best for Dillian. Really experienced team as well. And so nothing really other than Sky's there to support that fight if it's needed. We want to see the big fights happen. We want to see Dillian get in the ring with Tyson Fury, and I'm sure it will come off. They're probably working through some things now, and whether it's broadcast stuff or whatever, I don't know, but I'm sure we'll see that fight happen. And yeah, involvement wise, Dillian is a free agent. Whenever he needs our support, he knows it's there, as he probably knows it's there from Eddie as well. We all just want to see the fight happen.
What do you make of that matchup stylistically, and do you think that fight could take place in Manchester as well this year?
I don't think it happens in Manchester. I think it happens in London. I'm hoping it's going to happen on April 23rd, but I think, look, everyone thinks Tyson Fury is unbeatable right now, and fair play, but he fought the same guy 3 times, and Dillian's a different animal, different proposition, and Dillian, I know from speaking to his team, they really believe they're going to win this fight, and they've been waiting for it for a long time. And so, look, Tyson's obviously the massive favourite, but never count out Dillian Whyte, and that's why I think it's such an exciting fight, and one I'm looking forward to. I can't wait. Both two massive characters in the sport. Dillian's done a lot for the sport as well. He's been a pay-per-view star in his own right. So I think they're both bringing a lot to the table. Tyson the favourite, but yeah, we'll see on the night. Dillian will fancy his chances.
Perfect. Really appreciate your time, man. Thank you.